The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Zethkar of the Vorthan Empire rose from his crystalline seat. His 6 arms gestured dramatically as he addressed the assembly of 47 species that governed known space. Fellow delegates, Zethkar's voice resonated through the translation matrix. We have observed this primitive world called Earth for 3 cycles now. These humans possess resources we need, yet they squander them on petty conflicts and wasteful consumption. Murmurs of agreement rippled through the chamber. The insectoid Krelax representative clicked her mandibles approvingly, while the gaseous ethereals pulsed with shades of concord. I propose we vote, continued the Vorthan ambassador. All in favor of planetary acquisition and population reassignment. One by one, each species cast their vote. The Zephyrians, masters of technology. The brutish Gornax, conquerors of a dozen worlds. The ancient Celestials, who had witnessed the birth of stars. Even the pacifist Lumini, swayed by promises of guided human evolution, agreed. The vote was unanimous. 47-0 Earth would be enslaved. The invasion began at dawn on what humans would later call Submission Day. Massive ships blotted out the sun over every major city. Advanced weaponry disabled military installations in minutes. The message was broadcast in every human language simultaneously. Citizens of Earth, you are now subjects of the Galactic Council. Resistance is futile. Report to designated collection centers for work assignment. But the Council had made a critical miscalculation. They had studied human technology, human resources, even human biology. What they hadn't studied was human spirit. Dr. Sarah Chen, a quantum physicist at CERN, refused to report to the collection centers. Instead, she gathered her research team in the underground bunkers. If they want to enslave us, she said, her eyes blazing with determination, they'll have to catch us first. Around the globe, similar scenes played out. Marcus Rodriguez, a software engineer in Sao Paulo, began spreading viral code through the alien communication networks. In Mumbai, Colonel Priya Sharma organized guerrilla resistance cells. In Lagos, inventor Kwame Asante reverse-engineered captured alien technology. The Council had expected submission within days. Instead, they found themselves facing something they had never encountered, a species that grew stronger under pressure. 3 months into the occupation, the first alien casualties began mounting. Humans didn't fight like other species. They didn't rely on overwhelming force or advanced technology. They used cunning, adaptability, and an inexplicable willingness to sacrifice for abstract concepts like freedom and dignity. Admiral Thexnall of the Zephyrian fleet sent an urgent report to the Council. These humans are unpredictable. They destroyed our command ship using their primitive rockets but filled with their nuclear warheads. They show no fear of death when fighting for their young or their territories. The report was dismissed. The Council had conquered civilizations far more advanced than Earth. But then Dr. Chen's team achieved the impossible. Using captured alien quantum matrices and human innovation, they created a weapon that could disrupt the molecular bonds of any known alien alloy. The first test vaporized an entire Gornax battleship. The technology spread through the resistance networks like wildfire. By the 6th month, panic gripped the Council chambers. The Krelax delegates' chitin had turned pale with stress. They've learned our languages, infiltrated our ships, and turned our own technology against us. My Queen's Royal Guard reported human saboteurs in our home system. Zethkar slammed his fist on the podium. Impossible. They're a primitive species barely capable of spaceflight. Tell that to the ethereals, hissed the Gornax representative. These humans somehow found a way to disrupt their gaseous forms. An entire colony ship was scattered to the void. The truth was becoming undeniable. In their arrogance, the Council had awakened something terrifying. A species that viewed the impossible as merely another challenge to overcome. The tide turned completely when Marcus Rodriguez's virus infected the Council's central communication hub. Every screen in the galaxy displayed the same message, written in perfect high galactic by a species that had supposedly never left their solar system. You voted to enslave us. You forgot to ask if we consented. Consider this our response. What followed was humanity's coordinated counterattack. Dr. Chen's quantum disruptors struck simultaneously across 17 star systems. Human-piloted ships, jury-rigged with alien technology, appeared in battles across the galaxy. Most shocking of all, humans had somehow convinced 3 minor species to defect, offering them alliance instead of subjugation. The Galactic Council's perfect record of conquest crumbled in a matter of days. Now, 1 year later, the roles had reversed entirely. The once mighty council delegates sat in makeshift chambers on a neutral space station. No longer the conquerors, but the conquered. Zethkar's 6 arms trembled as he addressed the human delegation led by Dr. Sarah Chen, now wearing the insignia of Earth's first Star Admiral. "Admiral Chen," he began, his voice barely a whisper, we wish to negotiate terms of surrender." Chen studied the assembled aliens, species that had ruled the galaxy for millennia, now reduced to pleading for mercy from the primitive humans they had voted to enslave. 47 species voted unanimously to enslave Earth, she said calmly. 47 species learned what happens when you underestimate humanity. She leaned forward, her gaze sweeping across the former council members. "Here are our terms. Complete withdrawal from all human territories, reparations for damages, and most importantly, a new galactic accord recognizing the sovereignty of all sapient species, including those you deem primitive." The Vorthan ambassador's translator barely caught his whispered words. "We accept all terms." As the former council members filed out, Dr. Chen allowed herself a small smile. Humanity had learned an important lesson about the galaxy. It was vast, dangerous, and full of species that believed might made right. But the galaxy had learned something far more important about humanity. They were the species that proved them wrong.